This is a video for Algebra 1 Summer School, Unit 2, Topic 4, Writing the Equations of Lines, Part 1. There's going to be two parts to Writing Equations of Lines lesson. All right? So, writing the equation of lines. It says we will be writing the equations of lines throughout this unit. In order to do this, we need some key information. We need to know the slope of a line and the line's y-intercept. We've been dealing a lot with these in the first few lessons of this unit. If you don't know those points or those pieces of information, you will not be able to write the equation of a line. This information is presented to us in different ways depending on the problem. So we're going to look at all possible combinations. First, we're going to look at the simplest way, when I'm given the y-intercept and two different points. Okay? We know that the slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b. Our goal today is to be able to fill in the blanks for m and b. Those are what those boxes represent. Okay, let's work through a few together so that we can figure out how this is going to go. So I'm given y-intercept, or the b it says right way up here, equal 4. I'm also given 2 points on the line, 4, 8, and negative 1, 3. I listed out some steps generally that you can follow in order to solve this problem. First, it says fill in what you already know to the y equals mx plus b formula. Well, I know that the y-intercept b is 4. So I can actually fill 4 in right away. I don't have to do any work to find that y-intercept. Because I know the y-intercept, it turns out that I still need to find the slope of the line. Lucky for you, you are very good at finding the slope using the slope formula here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to go ahead and label these points, if you need to, x1 and y1, x2 and y2, just in case you need to organize. So when I put those into the slope formula, I get that m equals y2 is 3 minus 8 over negative 1 minus 4. All right, well, 3 minus 8 is negative 5, and negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. And I can simplify that fraction to equal 1. Well, now I found the slope that I needed in order to write the equation of the line. So I can go ahead and write the equation right here. Y equals 1x plus 4. Now, I also am really good now at graphing lines. So I go ahead and start at the y-intercept of 4 and use my slope, up 1 over 1. And I'm going to go up 1 over 1 all the way until I don't have any points that can fit on the graph anymore. Now here's where it's going to be really important to make sure that you graph accurately. I'm going to graph accurately this time because I'm going to use this line to help make sure that I did things correctly. I'm going to look for the 2 points I started with. I started with the points 4, 8, and negative 1, 3. So I'm going to look here on my graph, 4, 8. It's a good thing because that point ends up on my line. So does negative 1, 3. If those 2 points that you started with, that you found your slope using, are on the equation of the line that you graphed, you know you did your work correctly. Okay? So that's what we're going to do when you're given the slope and 2 points. That's the easiest way. In the next lesson, we'll deal with the more complicated version of finding the equation. So let's do 3 more examples here. Number 2 says write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form with the given y-intercept that passes through the given points. I'm starting with the same information. I know that I have a y-intercept of 3. So I can go ahead and put that right into the formula. Now I need to calculate the slope. I need to use the slope formula in order to help me keep things organized. So I have slope equals y2 minus y1, 1 minus 4, over 4 minus negative 2. Well, when I simplify that, 1 minus 4 is negative 3 over 6. Very careful with your negatives there. That fraction simplifies to be negative 1/2. So that is my slope. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Now, just as quickly as I found that equation, I can graph the line and check my work. I start by plotting my y-intercept of 3, and I follow the slope. Negative 1/2 is down 1 over 2. Once I graph this line, I should end up having a line that looks like it's going down from left to right. So take a second and graph that line, and then we'll review how to check to see if you did it right. If I graph this line correctly, the points negative 2, 4, and 4, 1 should be on your graph. It appears that they are here, so I know I found the correct equation of the line. Okay. All right, let's look at example 3. If you feel like you're getting the process, pause the video, try the problem, and see if you get it right. If you need help, come on back and listen to me. All right, so go ahead and hit pause and try this problem on your own. All right, so we are trying to find the y-intercept, or the slope-intercept form of this line. I am given that the y-intercept is negative 7, so I'm going to put that in the box for B. And I have 2 points on the line that I'm going to use to find the slope. The slope says take y1, y2, which is negative 1 here, minus negative 9. Notice I didn't label them right away, which is fine. I'm just used to using this formula. But if you need to label those y2s and y1s, the next 2's next ones, go ahead. Now I have this difference of the x's, 3 minus negative 1. This problem has a lot of negatives. It's negative intensive, so we need to be very careful with simplifying. Negative 1 minus negative 9. That's like addition there. Negative 1 plus 9 is 8. And 3 minus negative 1 is a plus, and that's 4. 8 divided by 4 simplifies to be 2. So it seems that the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points is 2x minus 7. Let's graph and see if our points end up on our line. I start at the y-intercept of negative 7, and I go up 2 over 1. My slope is positive, which is why I'm going up first. Now once I graph this line, I'm going to check. Is negative 1, negative 9 on my graph? That point seems to be. And 3, negative 1 also seems to be on my graph. So I know I'm good to go because those points showed up on my graph of the equation that I just found. All right, fourth and final problem here. You should be getting the hang of it at this point. Write the equation of the line that passes through the y-intercept of negative 1 and has the points on the line 4, 0, and 8, 1. And I'm going to find the slope. I organize things really carefully so that I don't make a mistake. I'm going to rewrite that here, x1 and y1. So here's how I find the slope. y2, which is 1 minus 0 over 8 minus 4. Well, 1 minus 0 is 1 over 4. That fraction doesn't simplify any more than it is. So that's my slope. My equation is 1/4 x minus 1. So I start with my y-intercept of negative 1, and I use my rise over run, up 1 over 4. Okay. Then I go the other way. And those are all the points that it seems like I can graph. Remember, my slope is positive, so my line needs to be looking like it's going up from left to right, which this line looks like it's doing. My final job is to verify that the points I started with are on the line. 4, 0 is on the line, and so is 8, 1. Okay? So what we did in this lesson was we started with a y-intercept and 2 points. From that y-intercept and 2 points, I was able to write the equation of the line using the slope formula. We then talked about how to check your work. Go ahead to Canvas, look at the practice graph. There's 3 problems on the practice for you to try before we move on to the more complicated task in the next lesson.